아, 오. 어디까지 했더라?
Fragments of... I haven't finished my analysis. I can't do that. Fragments of skin. I can see black and damp earth under the nail.
이거 다 하지 않았나?
Interesting. I can see something. Tooth marks, rather deep ones. I can't do that. I can't.
Bite marks on this severed finger. I am afraid of the significance.
The thieves didn't get what they wanted. When they were faced with the bishop's refusal to cooperate, one of the gang shook his finger at him to indicate that he was responsible for his unfortunate state.
And the poor man, whose head was the only part of him not bound by ropes, bit the finger violently enough to sever it. An uncommonly savage act.
Watson, I am certain that when we have explained the reasons behind this sudden bestiality, we will have revealed a larger part of the
조금만 더
mystery.
배워야겠는걸.
This fragment of stone is very smooth, and it seems to be of a peculiar quality. I shall have to strip... I haven't fit...
얘를 불러오면? 아, 똑같네.
Black and damp earth under the nail. Interesting. Tooth marks, rather deep ones. I'd say of incisors and a canine. Fragments of skin, a phalanx. This finger wasn't cut off, it was ripped off.
Bite marks on this severed finger. I am afraid of the significance.
The thieves didn't get what they wanted. When they were faced with the bishop's refusal to cooperate, one of the gang shook his finger at him to indicate that he was responsible for his unfortunate state.
And the poor man, whose head was the only part of him not bound by ropes, bit the finger violently enough to sever it. An uncommonly savage act.
Watson, I am certain that when we have explained the reasons behind this sudden bestiality, we will have revealed a larger part of the mystery.
There is something written on this scalpel. I should clean it. I can't do that. Ah, I can make out WCCH.
Oh.
What do the initials stand for?
How many hospitals are there in the Whitechapel area, Watson?
If we count public dispensaries, enough to keep us busy for an entire month. Did this scalpel come from a hospital?
Yes, as the initials WCCH engraved upon it show us. We must think on how best to deal with this. We do not have the time to investigate every hospital in Whitechapel.
I have cut a small piece off the rope. That should be enough. A lot of fragments of black stone are wedged into this rope. Their color seems unnatural, but they are too small for me to examine them. Black and damp earth. I must compare the samples of earth that I found. This rope is only worn on one side. This fragment of stone is very smooth, and it seems to be of a peculiar quality. I shall have to strip it with one of my products. I can't do that. I can't do that. I can't do that.
뭔데?
I can't. I can't do that. This stone appears to be the same as those found within the rope's fibers. I can't do that. This stone is granite covered in black paint. The fragments found in the rope and this piece of granite come from the same place. I must analyze the clue. I must compare the samples of earth that I found. And if I mixed this earth with another substance,
아이, 물을 부었던가
now it
어제.
must all be stirred. I can't do that. I can't do that.
The samples of earth taken from beneath the fingernail and from the ropes originate from the same place.
How do you know?
It took just a little water to analyze the consistency. The soil has retained its moisture, even though there hasn't been rain in London for over a week.
This soil could come from the bank of a river, or somewhere where the evaporation is slower. A mine, perhaps, or a trench.
The banks of the Thames are clay soil, unlike our samples, so we can rule that out. The nearest mines are 12 miles away, so I would rule that out also. I would therefore conclude your last theory to be nearer the mark.
A trench?
A pit. Watson, bring me your register of the London hospitals.
Studying the scalpel has given you an idea, then?
Indeed.
I'll get it. Read the paper. And this is how my dear friend and colleague treats his clients' letters. Female hospitals and dispensaries. I have found.
Good.
I have found my book, Holmes.
Good.
Here is the section showing Whitechapel. I made several notations on these pages during our investigation into the Ripper, which might prove useful. All we need to do is to find a hospital or a public dispensary near a location where pits have been dug and black granite has been used.
It's simplicity itself.
I haven't finished my analysis.
뭘씨.
Now I can make the right decision. I haven't finished my...
한 거 아니었어? 아,
The public dispensary number 4661. It's just opposite the Whitechapel Street Cemetery.
Yes, Watson. The murderer with the missing finger must work in the cemetery, or at least visit it. He could have taken a rope, one of the type they use to lower the coffins into the graves. The granite is minute particles of tombstone.
And he only had to cross the road to steal a scalpel from the dispensary opposite.
따로 저장을 안 했더니 진짜 한 10분은 버렸네. 어? 이제 뭐 해야 되지? 어제 밖으로 나가려다 말았나?
I need...
We must analyze all our clues, Watson.
I cannot leave now.
뭘 분석을 해야 되는데. 어? 이거 뭐야? 집을 수 있는 줄 알았네. 이거 오늘 밥해 먹기 귀찮아가지고 닭가슴살 데우고 고구마 삶은 거 먹고 있으니까 헬창된 기분. 고구마 맛있다. 뭘 해야 되지? 갈 수 있는 데가 없는 데스? 아, 설마 이거 분석하는 거에 요 플라스크? 아, 맞다. 맞아. 맞아.
I must analyze the clue.
알았어.
Poison. Discreet, efficient, and only detectable via a thorough post-mortem.
Have you been able to isolate the active components, Holmes?
Not with any certainty. This toxin, as you say,
General practice. Female.
어디에 있었더라?
according to these doc,
Is he at liberty?
happily no.
Then he cannot be.
Don't dismiss.
I cannot leave now.
아니, 씨, 뭔데? 내일은 쉴먼이란 작자를 만나러 가보세나. 내일 만나러 갈 거면 지금은 뭐 할 끼고 잠을 자야 되나? 잠자는 것도 없는데. 헐, 비둘기 구구구구구.
Let us look at our deduction board, Watson.
아하. 오. 미쳐갔다. 뭔가 또 틀리게 연결을 했나? 자기 자신을 일단 물어뜯었기 때문에 미친 게 맞는 것 같고요. 아, 플라스크에 독이 들어있었나 보다.
Perfect. Well done,
Perfect.
Watson. Our board is finished. It confirms that the bishop's murderers work for one person, who, amongst other things, possesses a very sophisticated poison. They therefore act for someone more educated than themselves.
You remember Wiggins and his
우선
gang,
과제
the
달성,
Baker Street
연습
irregulars?
탐정,
Yes,
그리고
the
인류
street
화학자.
urchins, whom you employ upon occasion, and Wiggins is their leader.
Yes. Well, I have hired their services again. I have instructed them to find out the address of the bishop's nephew.
I think he's here.
꼬맹이 얼굴도 많이
Wiggins, my
바뀌었네.
old friend, have you found the information for which the good Dr. Watson is going to pay you?
Yes, Mr. Holmes.
돈은 땀 처리시키고.
Very well, I understand. Here are a few pennies.
Thanks, Dr. Watson. The man you're looking for lives near Kensington.
Does he live alone?
Yes, but he rents a room for an old lady.
Did she see you?
No, Mr. Holmes. No one saw me.
Perfect. Watson, give our young friend another shilling as a reward for his discretion.
Here we go again. But of course... I'm falling asleep, Holmes. Aren't you tired?
No, I have an exceptional constitution. I can't remember ever having been fatigued by work. Idleness, on the other hand, exhausts me completely. Go to bed, Watson. The night will be short. We leave at dawn.
Wow, this is a real adventure. It's exciting. I like it better than made-up stories. I want to know what happens next. Keep reading. I'm going to. Ah, I want to listen to. My readers must excuse me if I do not describe in full detail here
애들이
the
보기에는 근데
terrible
좀
images
잔인한
which
이야기 아니야?
haunted me that night.
I had a sense that something extraordinary would take place, but I was scarcely prepared for the reality of it. Good morning, Holmes. Did you get any rest?
I did not attempt to sleep.
Have you managed to come to any conclusions?
I think that we might follow 3 trails. We can visit Whitechapel to try to discover the identity of the murderers by making inquiries at Dispensary 4661 and at the Whitechapel Street Cemetery.
The poison trail seems more important to me. We should perhaps go to Westgate Prison first to see Hans Schielman.
Yes, and let us not forget the bishop's irascible nephew, whose address we now have, thanks to my Baker Street irregulars. I have located each place on our map of London.
Holmes, let me remind you that we still have not been officially instructed to investigate this affair.
Ah, well, we will just have to hide that small detail.
일단 교도소부터 한번 가볼까요?
Westgate Prison.
Here we are at the famous Westgate Prison, one of the oldest and surest in the kingdom.
I've heard that it is soon going to be demolished. Don't you find it strange that it still houses criminals as dangerous as Hans Schielman?
There's nothing strange about it, Watson. The name of this prison is linked with numerous failed escape attempts. As long as it stands, the criminals will fear it.
Good morning, gentlemen. Are you expected?
No, but we wish to meet with one of your prisoners, Hans Schielman.
I'm afraid that at the moment that is impossible. Access to the cells is controlled strictly. You can't go there without permission from the director.
Then would you be so good as to announce us? I am Sherlock Holmes, and this is Dr. Watson.
The famous Holmes and Watson. What an honour. My name is Brighton. Frank Brighton. I'm afraid that I can't announce you. I'm not allowed to leave my post, under any circumstances. But I'm sure that the director won't refuse to see you, even without an appointment. Do you see the corridor behind the reception? Follow it to the secretary's office. You'll find him there.
Thank you, Warden Brighton. One last thing. Hans Schielman received any visits lately?
None. And I'm sure because I've dealt with receiving visitors for several weeks now. I volunteered because it's a calm post to be in. We don't get many visitors and it gives me time to write. Just like you, Dr. Watson. I enjoy literature and the...
Very good. Thank you.
That was very impolite, Holmes. That man admires our work. You could have given him...
Another time. Let's go and meet the director of the prison.
Sorry, but this area is prohibited without a pass. Please leave.
죄송.
We must see the prison director quickly.
이쪽이라는 건가? 접수처가 어디야? 자식들아.
Let us go to the secretary's office.
인가? 아, 맞네. 안녕하세요.
Good morning, Miss.
Oh, excuse me, I dropped off. Good morning, gentlemen. What can I do for you?
I am Sherlock Holmes, and this is Dr. Watson. We would like to talk to the director.
I'll just go and see if he can receive you.
Tiredness, pale face, stiffness. I believe that the young lady is expecting a happy event.
It would seem so.
This charming secretary is Miss Jenny Patterson.
This small rack is for urgent letters to be given immediately to the director. The director's office, Mr. P. Patterson. No need to go in there. Strange. The director and the secretary have the same name.
I'm delighted to meet you, Mr. Holmes. I am Paul Patterson, director of this establishment. You wish to talk to me? I hope this unexpected visit isn't to announce bad news.
No, do not worry. We are investigating an affair of the highest importance, one which could potentially affect the security of the kingdom. Therefore, it is imperative that we interview one of your prisoners, Hans Schielman.
Hans, the rat killer? He's been in here for a long while now, and he's had no contact with the outside. How could he be involved in such an affair?
That is what we would like to find out.
And you have been commissioned by Scotland Yard?
Evidently.
Very well. I have complete confidence in you, Mr. Holmes. I will draw up a pass that you should give to Warden James in the guardroom. He will show you to the cells.
Thank you, Director.
Keep me informed of your progress. And if there is anything else, don't hesitate to let me know.
We shall certainly do so.
Miss Patterson, you have the same name as the director. Are you related?
Come, Watson. Anyone who might have made the slightest study of anthropology would have noted the similarities between the young lady and her father.
Mr. Holmes is right, I am his daughter, but he doesn't like to talk about it. I think he's afraid of being accused of favoritism.
I'm sure it was your qualities alone which secured you this position, miss.
If you must try out your powers of seduction, then what do you say about using them on the... goodbye, miss.
Goodbye, gentlemen.
Hot tea.
어디 가볼까요?
The locker room. This is where the prisoners' things are kept.
들어갈 수 있나?
Closed.
그럴 리가 없지.
Staff cloakroom.
일단은 아까 그 입구에 가서 다시 말 걸면 되지 않을까?
Sorry, sirs. I'm on duty. I can't help you.
여기 들어가야 돼.
Sorry, but this area is prohibited without a pass. Please leave.
아니 통행증 있잖아.
Ah, you've got a pass for the high security area. It's the door at the end.
들고 있는
Go
상태로
ahead.
들어가야 되는구나.
It is about the signing in book. This information board is almost empty. Strange, in view of the activity in the prison.
My name is Peter James, Chief Warden, and this is Deputy Warden O'Sullivan.
I imagine I will find Hans Schielmann behind these bars in the basement.
Yes, the high security cells are down there.
Is this the only access?
Yes, there was a second door at the end of the main hall, but it's been blocked up as a security measure.
Thank you, Chief Warden.
At your service. If you require further information, Warden Mackenzie will help you. He's at his post in the basement.
Mr. Holmes, I am a huge admirer of yours. I have followed all your cases and successes with the greatest interest.
What enthusiasm! Have you ever thought of a career in the police force?
Have I thought about it? It's my dream. And I'm going to try my chance once this establishment closes down. I'm studying hard for the examination to get into police school.
귀엽네.
Tell me about the prisoners, Warden James.
We only have a few. As you might be aware, the days of this place are numbered. Therefore, we no longer receive new prisoners. Those who are already here are among the most dangerous in London. We have 3 at the moment. Hans the Rat Killer and the Flint Brothers.
The Flint Brothers?
Yes, 2 rather simple-minded maniacs who detest
Wow.
one another despite their
미쳤다.
relation.
부모님을 토막네.
Massacred their parents
진짜
and
미친놈들이네.
decapitated their neighbours. It took more than 9 policemen to overpower them.
There isn't any information on the notice board. Should there be notes about duties?
Yes, there should be, but Miss Patterson hasn't put up the guard's assignments for this week yet. It's not like her. Usually she does it first thing in the morning. Without these instructions, the guard in the basement won't be changed. I would go and get them, but I don't want the director to catch me there. He's very strict. He doesn't like us wandering around when we're on duty. And it will get his daughter in trouble. He's not being very pleasant with her at the moment. I don't want to make things worse.
How does not having the information about guard duty stop you from ensuring the watch in the basement?
Because of the system of opening the doors, Mr. Holmes. As you can see, they are equipped with a mechanical timer which answers to a code. When the timer stops, that is to say at the end of each watch, the doors block automatically and the code is reset. It is therefore impossible to open the doors without the new code.
And who has the code?
Only the guard who takes the new watch. He's the only one who can open the envelope that it's kept in. He learns it by heart and destroys the message.
Very clever, but let's look at the limits of this procedure. One false note and the system falls apart.
See you later, Mr. Holmes.
It is the guard's guest book, perhaps for distinguished guests.
The guards must spend long hours here.
This device must be the alarm.
가보자. 가보자고.
Here's the famous high security area.
Warden Mackenzie, at your service, sir.
Good morning, Warden. I have a pass which allows me to speak with prisoner Hans.
Very well. It is the cell at the end to your left. I'd advise you to walk in the middle of the corridor.
What do you want? You're a friend of my brother, are you?
What should we do?
아, 진짜 UI 너무 불편해.
You've been...
끝에서 두 번째 라고 했는데 엥? 뭐야 이 자식. 왜 이렇게 기괴하게.
Hans Schielmann, I require some information from you.
So, who do we have here? The celebrated Sherlock Holmes himself. Do you know that for all the time I have spent rotting in here, you are my first and only visitor? I think this is cause for celebration. A confrontation between two geniuses, two extraordinary minds.
I'm afraid that you are not quite as great a chemist as you believe you are, Mr. Schielmann. I will not say that you never were. No, it was certainly true once. But you see, while you are whiling away your days in here, it appears that someone on the outside is at the point of surpassing you, if that is not already the case.
Yes, I heard about that. A chemical poison that eats away at the flesh and provokes hysteria. I recognize talent when I see it, but it's only a matter of time before I win back my laurels. Believe me.
What can you tell me?
That depends on what you can bring to me.
What do you want?
Do you know why I am treated so harshly? For my meals, I am given nothing but a hunk of bread, and even then, not just any sort.
Get to the point.
Never interrupt me! Where was I? Oh yes, the bread. Did you know that with a little rye yeast, a pinch of moss, certain cockroach secretions, just enough light and damp, with a few other ingredients that I will keep quiet about, I succeeded in poisoning half the staff here. Unfortunately, a little something was omitted, which would have made the results fatal. Instead, it merely caused acute attacks of stress and powerful hallucinations. Even so, I got a great laugh out of watching them cry like babies when they saw their most primitive fears materializing before them.
You are a monster, Mr. Schielmann.
Thank you.
It wasn't a compliment.
But of course it was! You others, you ordinary, narrow-minded people, you are afraid of anything that you cannot comprehend. You call me a monster because what you find impossible to face is just the slightest fraction of my genius. If by monster you mean someone who is nothing like you, then it is a compliment.
What do you need?
Very little. Just something to write with. You see, my brain races like an engine with too many thoughts. I see them crackle and explode into thousands of formulae right in front of me. What a torture not to be able to write them down. What a hell to see them vanish just as quickly as they appear to me. Just bring me something that I can write with.
That's all. That seems an easy enough request to fulfill.
But listen, I don't want a vulgar inkwell and a pigeon's feather. No, I need material fit for my talent. I want my ink pen. Bring it to me, and I will be happy to pass on to you a little of my knowledge of modern chemistry.
Where is it?
It was confiscated upon my arrival here. I suppose it might be in my locker, in the locker room. Leave me now, and don't come back without my ink pen. See you soon, Mr. Holmes.
We must go to the locker room, Holmes.
아까 위에 있던 거기? 잘 걸면 될까?
Warden Mackenzie, at your service, sir.
glad to have been of...
Can you tell me where I might find the locker room?
In the corridor that leads to the director's office. That's where the prisoners' civilian stuff is held. But seeing the length of their sentences, they've little chance of ever getting it back.
Can you open the locker room for us? We would like to inspect Shieldman's personal items.
No, Mr. Holmes. I'm not responsible for that. You will find the keys in the secretary's office.
See you later, Mr. Holmes.
가세나. 안녕하세요.
Miss, may we borrow the keys to the locker room?
You'll need authorization from the director to open that door. If you wait a moment, then I will inform him.
We will wait, thank you.
Anything new, Mr. Holmes? Is your investigation advancing? Mr. Holmes, have you been able to get what you wanted from our lodger?
Not yet. We must first cast light upon a crucial point, and for that we require your help again.
What can I do?
We need to examine Shieldman's civilian clothing.
Very well, but be extremely careful.
What do you mean?
In that madman's compartment, you will find a strange little coded case which refused point blank to open when he was incarcerated. We did try to force it, but without success.
Didn't you ask the experts?
Of course we did. Experts from Scotland Yard came to examine it, but they came to the conclusion that it was better that the case remain shut than tamper with it too much.
I see. They were afraid that some poison or other might escape if it was opened.
Exactly. Bear in mind that this man is an evil genius, a master poisoner, and that his poisons are never ordinary. Here's the key to the locker room. I give you the authorization to open it.
Good. Thank you, Mr. Patterson.
Miss Patterson, the guards are still waiting for you to put up the duty list. Do it as soon as possible. Without it, the changing of the guard cannot take place. Or had you forgotten?
Dry your tears, miss. I'm certain that your father didn't mean to hurt you.
Mr. Watson, I can't put up the duty list. And when he finds out, he'll be furious.
Why can't you?
It's in my locker, in the cloakroom.
What?
And I've lost the key.
Your aunt.
Say no more, Holmes. As you keep repeating, time is against us. Let's go and look at the things in the rat killer's locker.
어디였더라?
Staff.
여기였네.
Closed.
The locker room.
열쇠를 받았나? 아, 받았네.
Here is the locker of our friend, Hans, the mad scientist.
Oh, what a jumble.
A paper knife. Blotting paper. This solid box must hold a precious object. Let us see.
우유 좀 구워야겠다. 어디 보자.
A poem in Hans's handwriting.
무슨 내용인지 알려줘야죠.
A poem. Blotting paper. I can't do that. I can't do that.
뭐고?
Nothing of interest here. Nothing of interest here. Nothing of interest here. This solid box. Blotting paper. I can't do that. Nothing of interest here. Blotting paper. There's something interesting here. Nothing of interest here. Nothing of interest here. Nothing of interest here. There's something interesting here.
여기를 뭐 이런 걸로
No,
긁어가야
it
되나?
is unnecessary.
아닌데.
Blotting paper. Nothing of interest here. This cannot be a simple coincidence. I can't do. I can't do that.
반대로? 안 되네.
Blotting paper. No, it is unnecessary. There's something interesting here.
어떻게 찾아야 되는데?
I can't do. I can't do. I can't do.
약간 흠집 같은 게 있는 데를
I can't do
긁으면
that.
되나?
I can't do that. I can't. I can't. I can't. I can't. I can't. I can't do that. I can't do that. There's something interesting here. There's something interesting here.
수소, 칼슘, 그런 무엇이긴 텐데 몰라 아무튼. S가 황이냐 인이냐 황? 황인가? 뭐 아무튼 여기 4개를 찾았는데
Nothing of interest. Nothing of interest. There's something interesting here.
그래서 얘를 어떻게 하라는
No,
건데
it is unnecessary.
그걸
I
찾으면
can't do
되나?
that. Nothing of interest here. Nothing of interest. There's something interesting here.
뭘 해야 되지?
No, I can't.
다른 데는 뭐 조사할 게 없어 보이는데.
What should we do next, Holmes?
여기밖에 뭘 할 수 있는 게 없는 걸? 여기는 다 했고. 와.
Oh, what a jumble.
This solid. A poem in Hans's handwriting. There's something interesting here. Nothing of interest here. Nothing of interest here. Nothing of it. Nothing of it. Nothing of it. There's some. There's some. Nothing of interest. Nothing of interest. Nothing of it. 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 Nothing. Nothing of it. Nothing of interest. Nothing of interest. Nothing of interest. Nothing of it. Nothing of it. Nothing of it.
아우 하나.
There's something interesting here. Nothing of interest here. There's something interesting here. There's some. No, I can't. No, I can't. No, I can't. No,
뭘 해야 되는 거야?
I can't. No, 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 I can't do that. No, I can't. There's.
아, 그냥 손으로 누를 수 있구나. 아이씨, 뭐야. 뭐였지?
Perfect.
Perfect.
What is written on that note, Holmes?
Later, Watson, later. We can give Hans his pen.
What should we do next, Holmes?
We can give Hans his pen.
일단은 펜부터 주고 올까요?
What a bunch of incompetents. Oh, if I was as unprofessional as that, there would be murderers running all over the town.
얘는 또 왜 이래?
What's the matter? Are you a patient of Dr. Watson?
Very amusing.
I was going on about the dry cleaners in Westgate Street. They've just delivered my ceremonial uniform in the middle of my duty, when I've told them 1,000 times not to bring it until after 6 in the evening.
A ceremonial uniform? You've been promoted?
No, and that's not about to happen. No, I've been invited to a wedding.
초대되고 싶대.
I hope to be. I'm in trouble. If the director sees that I've left my post, I'll be sacked without pay.
Give it to me, Warden Brighton. I'll take care of it for you.
Really? Thanks a lot. Here's the key to the cloakroom and that of my locker. I'm really grateful, Mr. Holmes.
What have you got in mind, Holmes? You're not doing this out of kindness, are you?
No, out of curiosity. We will be able to access the cloakroom with these keys.
The locker.
아, 직원 휴게소에 있겠구나.
Staff.
딱.
Here is Brighton's locker.
조사부터
Carbonate
해야겠지요.
of soda. Brighton must have an upset stomach caused by stress, without a doubt. The name on the key is
어허,
Jenny
이 녀석
Patterson.
보게.
That is interesting. I need something. Bicarbonate of soda.
뭘 또 해야 되나? 상관없지? 일단 비서 언니한테도 갔다 와 볼까요?
Let us go to.
이거 보세요.
But what could I have done with the keys?
갖고 왔잖아. 얘한테 할 게 아니고 저 새끼 추궁을 해야 되나? 네가 이걸 왜 갖고 있냐고? 이봐.
What should we do next?
We can give Hans his pen.
일단 펜부터 주고 올까요?
Sorry, Mr. Holmes, you can't go
왜?
into the basement for the moment.
For what reason?
The door has locked itself automatically. We must enter a new security code.
Do it then.
Miss Patterson hasn't put up the guard duty list yet. Without that information, we don't know who's authorised to take note of the new code.
So Mackenzie is
이런.
locked in the high security zone.
Yes, but don't worry about him. He's trained for this sort of dysfunction.
Why not ask the director to take note of the code and open the door?
He isn't allowed to, and I doubt that he would run the risk of going against the orders of the administration centre. Anyway, the bars in the high security section are joined to the alarm system, which is in that room. We only need to sound it to unblock, but you see, we can't do that now.
We'll try to find the duty list, Warden James.
아까 그놈을 추궁하러 가야겠는걸?
Sorry, sirs. I'm on duty. I can't help you.
아니 씨. 뭘 해야 되는 거야?
At your ser- At your...
See you.
Let us.
수언니 내가 이거 열심히 찾아왔잖아.
This small rat.
업무 일람표를 찾아서 지금 얘 열쇠를 찾았으니까 이 열쇠를 이용을 해가지고 비서 언니 사물함을 찾으면 되는 건가? 오케이.
What should we...
We can give.
What should we do?
We
아이,
can give.
나와. 불편해 진짜.
Let us examine Miss Patterson's locker. The lock on this box is rather sophisticated.
Incredible. Is Jenny hiding something?
뭔가 안 움직이는 걱정된 게 뭐가 있어야 싶을 것 같아. 여기는 못 올라가네.
It's
됐구만.
really very clever. Little Jenny is astonishing.
브라이튼의 목걸이. 언제나 같은 마음으로 영원히 사랑할 그 영혼을 위하여.
A locket sealing the relation
어허.
between Jenny and Warden Brighton. Decidedly,
그래서
this
열쇠를
boy is
갖고
not a
있었구나.
great poet. Here is the famous guard duty list. Interesting.
결혼합시다. 아기를 생각해서라도 시를 지어봤는데 좀 그렇군.
A letter from Brighton to Jenny. Barely
수정
literate.
과제가 깨졌습니다.
Apparently, Jenny is carrying Brighton's child.
낭만을
And it
꿈꾸며
seems that Jenny's father, the director, is unaware of this.
아무튼 편지를 찾아서 읽으니까 깨졌네요. 더 없지? 가자. 햄.
We have found Chief Warden James's duty list.
Good. Thank you, Mr. Holmes. Let's see. O'Sullivan, it's you who takes over from Mackenzie. Take note of the code, please, and unblock the door.
At once, Chief. Ah, Mr. Holmes, could I ask you for a favour?
Please do.
I think I can say on behalf of all the staff that we would be honoured if you would care to write something in our guest book.
With pleasure, O'Sullivan.
글 쓰려다가 뭔가 발견하나?
You seem worn out, O'Sullivan. A good night's sleep would do you good.
A good night's sleep would do me good. You're right, Mr. Holmes.
Is something worrying you?
As you know, Westgate Prison will soon be demolished, and I'm spending most of my night studying for my
이직
exam to
준비하는
join the
건
police.
피곤하지.
You understand, I have to think about my future. So sleep isn't a priority at the moment.
Scotland Yard is always looking for young, competent and motivated men. Would a letter of recommendation from me allow you to get some sleep?
What? A letter from Mr. Sherlock Holmes recommending me for Scotland Yard? Are you quite serious?
Completely serious, my young friend. May I use this writing paper? The one on your desk.
1,000 thanks, Mr. Holmes. 1,000 thanks.
It is addressed to Inspector Baines, a good friend of mine. There's no need to remind you that it must be opened only by the person to whom it is addressed.
Yes, of course. I'll give it to him personally. Thank you again, Mr. Holmes.
Bye-bye.
At your service, Mr. Holmes.
Ward.
내가 왔다, 이 자식아.
Well,
You have what you wanted, your precious pen.
you seem annoyed, Mr. Holmes. I would even go so far as to say terribly worried.
Why should you care, Mr. Shielman? Let's talk about that poison.
I am not talking about you in the grip of natural emotions found in ordinary people who are confronted by the inexplicable. But as for Mr. Holmes, you are embarrassed, aren't you? Are you hiding something?
That is enough, Shielman.
You have kept your word. Therefore, I will keep mine. At this moment, the poison which so interests you isn't finished yet. Its maker is encountering great difficulties in attaining the desired results.
What is the end result?
Now, Mr. Holmes, the end result of any science, as Descartes once said, to become the master and owner of nature. Here we are talking about human nature, of course. And the creator's problem isn't so much the mixture as the durability of his creation.
What do you mean?
You see, this poison was made using rare but very volatile short-living compounds, which means that it is only possible to produce small quantities, which most importantly do not keep for a long time. Conceiving such a product in a laboratory especially built for the purpose could be achieved by any good chemist. But recopying this alchemy on another scale and keeping it ready at any moment, observing the particular conservation and storing conditions that a substance of this type requires, well, that would need a genius. I doubt if the creator of this mixture would be capable.
And you would be, of course.
Of course.
Luckily, you are going to spend the rest of your life in prison.
Luck is cyclical. It always comes around again, sooner or later. As far as I am concerned, I have the feeling that the cycle is going to be very short.
Holmes, it sounds to me as though this Shieldman is implying that an escape attempt will be made.
Yes, we must go and warn the director.
We must see the prison director quickly.
이쪽으로 못 올라가네. 가자. 이쪽이었나?
It is out of the question that your bastard is named Patterson. Very well. You
이래서
refuse
사이가 안
to
좋았구나.
reveal the father to me. Well, then go and join him. I'm not stopping you.
I can't.
Director, you will have to postpone this small family reunion. We believe that a serious scheme is afoot. We must act without delay.
You're not thinking of...
Yes, Shieldman's words leave no room for doubt. It seems that he is planning an escape attempt. We strongly advise you to search his cell.
Do you really believe that he's hiding something? Because I must make an official report and have a legitimate reason for doing a search.
Director, if this prison is still in operation, it is solely because of its reputation. Think of the consequences of an escape. It would be closed at once. And what post do you imagine would be offered to the person deemed responsible?
You're right. No one will escape from Westgate under Patterson. I will order an immediate search of Mr. Shieldman's cell.
Chief Warden James reporting. The search of prisoner Hans Shieldman's cell has been carried out. No suspicious items were found.
Thank you, Chief James. I feel better now. Without wishing to offend you, Mr. Holmes, I am glad that you were mistaken.
If I'm not mistaken, we've nothing more to do here. Shall we go, Holmes?
There's just one more thing for me to see, Watson.
What's that?
Mr. Holmes, sorry to interrupt you, but Miss Jenny wishes to see you alone. She is waiting for you in her office.
This, Watson.
How did you know?
Wait for me in the guards room. I won't be long.
What an extraordinary gentleman that Sherlock Holmes is. You must have had lots of adventures with him.
Oh, yes, dozens.
Thought he was infallible, but there wasn't anything out of the way in the rat killer's cell. Could he have been mistaken?
I must admit...
Warden Brighton, in my office immediately. That's an order.
The director seems furious.
Yes. It must be important for him to order Brighton to leave his post.
I wouldn't want to be in his shoes.
Did you hear that?
Yes, that's not normal. I've never heard Flint shout like that.
But why doesn't O'Sullivan sound the alarm?
Follow me, Mackenzie. Let's go and have a look.
I'll come with you.
No, Dr. Watson, you're not allowed in. Wait for me here.
Very well.
Hey, but... the grill is blocked, Chief.
We've been locked in. And that smoke, it's coming from below. O'Sullivan! Can you hear us?
Sully, are you alive? Answer us, Sully.
What's going on? Can I help you?
Sound the alarm in the guards room. That should unblock the door. Be quick. O'Sullivan might be in danger.
It doesn't work.
어디서 뭘 찾아가야 되는 거야? 여기 뭐 열쇠 없니?
O'Sullivan!
Yes, I'm here. Quick, get me out of here. The Flints have escaped, and they are fighting like dogs. Help!
It's a catastrophe. Locked.
아, 이 새끼. 씨.
There is nothing interesting here. There is nothing interesting. There is no. There is no. There is nothing.
어디로 가서 뭘 해야 하오?
I must sound the alarm. I must sound the...
아니,
The
경기가
door is locked, and I can hear shouting and crying. We're in the middle of some family drama, so there's no chance of them hearing me. The door...
그럼 어디 있는 알람을 울려야 되는 건데?
There is... There is...
아니, 얘들아, 뭐 해야 되는 거야?
It doesn't... Locked. The guard. The guardsman.
전화라도 할 수 있는 건 없어? 아씨.
There is nothing.
아니, 네.
Locked.
아니, 뭐 어디 가서 올릴 수 있다
There is
이런 거라도
nothing
알려줘야 되는 거
interesting.
아니냐?
There is... There is... There is nothing interesting. There is... There is nothing. There is nothing. I must...
아니, 씨. 개화사네.
The door...
어디로 가서 뭘 하란 얘기야?
There is...
편하게. 아, 조작 진짜 겁나 불편해.
Locked.
Hey, what are you waiting for to sound the alarm, Doctor?
아이씨,
It's
내가 말
impossible.
걸었어야 되는
It's
거야?
been damaged. I'll run and warn the director.
No,
빡치네.
Doctor, our priority is to save O'Sullivan. Go ahead through the visitors' corridor and see if he answers your call.
Very well.
Take the keys, they're in our room.
아이, 빡침, 씨.
Locked.
아니, 씨.
Yes, I'm here.
It doesn't work.
Useless. This door is blocked by the timer, but not the one below. Give me the keys, quickly.
나가라.
I've got the keys, Doctor. Thank you.
Follow me, Watson. We must repair the alarm.
Finally, there you are, Holmes.
I'm going to turn on the system. What?
I hope that this isn't dangerous.
아. 어디까지 움직여야 되는 거지? 아, 이렇게. 아니, 씨. 아, 잠깐만. 아, 나갔다 올 수 있구나.
It works.
Perfect.
It's open. Let's go down.
Be careful. From what your colleague said, the flints are out.
We are trained for this sort of situation. And we're armed.
Come and help us, Watson.
Everything is back to normal. Thank you for your help, gentlemen.
It was a pleasure.
But where is O'Sullivan?
He's no longer here. He must have gone out through the visitor's entrance.
Yes, and he must be pleased to have gotten out of the basement.
Good. We must now
바꿔치기했구나.
check all the cells. It's the procedure in case of an alarm.
We'll come and help you.
You are evidently fond of wasting time, my dear fellow. Rejoin me at the reception when you've finished.
The grate is open. This is alarming. He's fine where he is, under the cover, still.
How can he sleep with all this noise?
I'll admit it's not normal. Perhaps the smoke has poisoned him. I had better take a look.
Be careful, Doctor. He is dangerous.
O'Sullivan!
It's impossible. He was with us only a few moments ago. Or else...
Or else it wasn't O'Sullivan.
My God, he's escaped. The rat killer has escaped.
Ah, Holmes, there you are. Hans has escaped. I fear that this inquiry is a bitter defeat for us.
Not at all, my dear fellow. Quite the contrary. Follow me.
Why the devil have you brought me behind the prison?
We have an appointment, Watson. Look who is waiting for us.
Shieldman! I'll go back and alert the guards.
Calm down. He's harmless.
But what is he doing here? Why hasn't he run away?
Because I asked him not to.
Are you telling me that you helped him to escape?
Quite so, as he wouldn't have been able to do so alone.
But how? And why? He's a dangerous madman. Holmes, you've made me an accomplice in this escape. You owe me some explanation.
And you will have them. But my priority for the moment is to remove our new friend to a safe place. I won't be long, but I must go alone. I'll rejoin you later. Just give me your next destination.
Very well. I suppose you know what you're doing.
How could you doubt it? Here, take the notes. They will help you when you write up the account of our visit to Westgate. So, where do I find you?
감옥 탈출 도전 과제.
The next step of our investigation should take place in the Whitechapel area.
Good. Go then, and I'll rejoin you there.
만년필. 실험체의 의지를 조작해? 아까 졸린이 어쩌고 저쩌고 하는 게 뭐 그거였던 얘기야?
Here we are in the heart of Whitechapel. Keep an eye on your wallet, Holmes. This area is the highest for pickpockets in all of the kingdom.
Don't worry about my wallet, Watson. It would be easier to move Big Ben than to steal from me.
Or to borrow a shilling from you.
Amusing, Watson. Really very amusing. Can we move on to more serious matters?
I'm listening, Holmes.
You ain't from around here. You shouldn't stay here. It ain't healthy.
병원이 어디야?
Here's the public dispensary that we're looking
여기
for.
안녕하세요. 안녕하세요. 다들 바쁘시네.
This stove is hardly working. That would explain the damp around here.
Incredible. My colleague could at least keep a good fire going for his patients.
Closed. Like all the sick lying here, this person is very quiet.
Not surprising, Holmes, this person is too weak. She's obviously suffering from malnutrition, and for more than a few weeks now. Good day. Please excuse us. Oh, Grant, is it you?
Yes, but wait a moment. Watson, it's been years. Since the Faculty of Medicine, if my memory serves me right.
Yes, we were young and ambitious. I didn't expect to find you here. I thought you had gone to America.
No. I find that I prefer the filth here, amputating gangrenous legs.
Ah.
I'm joking, Watson. Unfortunately, I was unable to leave for Washington. I had to give up surgery. So instead, I crouched down in this rat hole, rubbing shoulders with the world's misery.
Grant, treating those in need is a noble calling. You underestimate the importance of your work.
If you say so. It's true that in the beginning I felt as you do, but as time goes by, the more this cursed area seems like hell. You think that nothing can get worse, and the next day you see that it can. Now famine has hit these poor wretches.
One can't always do as one might prefer when one is a doctor.
Grant, I'd like to introduce you to Sherlock Holmes.
Pleased to meet you. Well, no one comes here by chance, therefore I imagine that you need something in particular. How can I help you?
Dr. Grant, we are in possession of a scalpel which was found in an unusual location. Does it come from your dispensary, as we believe?
From its mark, I'd say it was stolen from us. A lot of things disappear from here, you understand? Life is hard in Whitechapel. When the staff find a way of adding to their salary, they rarely hesitate to do so.
Thank you, Doctor. Farewell, Doctor.
See you soon, perhaps. And take care of yourself.
I suggest that we go to the cemetery next to the public dispensary.
그렇군요. 갑시다. 여긴가?
Closed. Even here, decidedly the poor people have been abandoned to their fate. This cemetery is the very image of Whitechapel. Sinister, frightening, and ill-kept. What a terrible place for one's final rest.
At least hunger no longer gnaws at them. Let us see if the elements analyzed in Baker Street and this cemetery have something in common. This rope is only worn on one side. This rope is only worn on one side. The rope used to tie up the Bishop of Knightsbridge came from this cemetery. It is only worn on the one side because it is used to lower coffins into graves. Impossible to open it. A leaflet for the soup kitchen. This leaflet is dated for the day after tomorrow. The tickets for the soup kitchen are given out on the same day. Only somebody who works there could have written on it. This shovel belongs to the cemetery workers.
뭐를 또 더 찾아야 될까나?
Let's look for a mobile soup kitchen.
무료 급식소?
Buy my flowers, my lord, for your dear departed.
비둘기 있다고 이걸 앞에를 못 지나가네. 배급처가 어디에 있을까? 여긴가?
Oi, oi! We're giving out free
Oi,
soup
oi.
after mass, right here. Don't hesitate. Come get yours. All thanks to Prince Woodville's kind generosity. A ticket for a hot bowl of bacon soup.
Excuse me, my good fellow.
You don't look like the needy.
We're not here for the soup, we're merely passing through. But I would like to commend you for your good charity.
Nah, it's the Prince of Woodville who's the charitable one. All I'm doing is filling the bowls. For the first time ever in this area, someone's thinking of the poor people here. Look around you. At every street corner, you'll find someone giving out soup just like me. I grew up here, and I can promise you, it's the first time the toffs have thought about us.
And no one tries to take advantage of this?
No, mister, that's not possible. You have to exchange a ticket against a bowl. The tickets have the day's date on them and are handed out after mass. That way no one can cheat. A bowl of good bacon soup isn't for you, gentlemen.
We're looking for two people called Grape Ape and Kurtz. Do you know them?
Can't you see I'm giving out soup?
Goodbye.
Yeah, goodbye, mister.
A circulating soup kitchen.
Holmes, the man from the soup kitchen isn't only in voluntary service. Look.
A money game.
What should we do next, Holmes?
내가 물어보려고 그랬는데.
I'm starving. Help me for pity's sake.
오호, 이것도 도전 과제가 깨지네요. 능청스러운 부강자.
Whitechapel Street. We are in one of the main areas in the district. Closed.
Even here.
어디로 가서 찾아야 할까?
Whitechapel Street. We are in one of the main areas in the district.
Sorry, the market is closed. There's no more produce.
못 들어가.
Batty Street. Batty Street.
I'm starving. Help me for pity's sake.
재활용이고. 뭘 해야 되지?
There's nothing left at all. I have to close. Oh, what misery.
Burner Street.
I cannot leave now.
그렇군요. 아하.
You again. You can't have any soup, you're too rich. It's for the poor, not the toffs.
And what would you say to relieving two toffs of their wallets by giving them a chance at dice?
With great pleasure. What do you want to bet?
Your ring against my friend's superb silver watch.
Holmes, I inherited this watch from my brother. It has a great sentimental value.
Watson, show your watch to our friend here.
Done. Make yourselves at home.
All right, mister. First who gets 36 points wins.
이렇게 풀리는 거군. 아우. 아니 뭔데 자꾸. 아우.
Without success, Holmes.
다시. 한 번 더. 아, 이 할배는 왜 해골이 한 번도 안 나오냐? 한 번만 더. 아우. 그렇지. 한 번만 더. 하하. 에이. 오케이.
Perfect.
요것도
Are you going to leave me
도전까지.
alone? Can't you see I'm busy?
고박군. 이겼잖아요.
We win.
Hey, not so fast. We'll play a game.
Out of the question. You have lost. You owe me your ring.
Oh, it means a lot to me, this ring. Me dad gave it me before he died. He choked on his own glass eye. Me mum didn't get over the shock of it, and she killed herself by smashing her head open with a wooden leg.
갬성팔이
She'd only
시작하네.
just heard that me sister, who's a prostitute, had caught an embarrassing disease that made all her hair fall out. And worse, our dog got run over when he...
As this ring holds such sentimental value for you, I will allow you to keep it. What would you say to exchanging that against some information about Grape Ape? That seems like a fair deal, don't you think?
Yeah, Grape Ape works with us. He usually deals with the tickets, but we haven't seen him for a few days.
Where is he usually to be found?
Well, last time I saw him, he was with his mates from the dispensary, them that deal with the morgue. Now, that's all I know.
It is quite good enough. Keep your ring, my good man, as a souvenir of your poor father.
A souvenir of me dad, me mum, me sister, and me dog.
One further thing. You said that Grey Babe's friends work at the morgue. Which morgue?
The morgue at the dispensary. I must say, they got a funny job. They wash the dead, dress them, cut their hair. They clean the blood off the floor, chase the rats, stamp on the cockroaches. Mister, I can tell ya, I prefer giving out soup.
There isn't a certain Kurtz amongst the employees.
Listen, we didn't play for info about the whole city. I'm not telling you anything else.
The dispensary has got its own morgue. Interesting.
Well, yeah, I've just told you so. It's the one that all the undertakers prefer. Think about it. It's just next to the cemetery.
Thank you, my good man. Goodbye.
바이.
Yeah, goodbye, mister.
저도 슬슬 운동 다녀와야 되겠네. 운동 다녀와서 더 할지 말지 고민 좀 해보겠습니다.